the game is clear. He's a champ when all else disappears. Rally the team with a wink and a cheer. He's the leader that everyone fears. Quickly, it's a real heater. Once my friend, he's a locker room leader. In the chaos, he's the center, turning us into believers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday night and 7 p.m. That means it is time for the Locker Room Breakdown. This is our Raw Perspective. I am OM Dynamic, and tonight it is a very celebratory edition, even though Bubba Duke is away this evening. First of all, I want to thank both Carl Carafell and Chris Best for stepping up last week as I was finishing work at the time the show was supposed to start. And they did a fantastic job stepping in and filling the role on such short notice. As well, I said today is a celebratory edition. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Today is my birthday. 47 years young, or level 47, as we like to say, as we're getting older here now. Off on another side quest. Anyways, it is time to get right into it. The preview, review. And let's go back to last week and our opening match. Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental Championship against Rusev. And what a match. I know that most of us here at the TAP had Rusev pegged to win. But Dominic pulled it out somehow. And good on him. I do think that this is going to lead to something much, much bigger, potentially around Survivor Series. I don't think we're going to see this happen this coming weekend at Crown Jewel. But things can change as Raw goes live in an hour. Now, this match was absolutely fantastic. Two of the top heels in the business, even though Dominic was much more beloved and treated like the baby face. Both men pulling out heelish tactics. Dom really not getting any help from the Judgment Day. I don't remember if they got involved physically, but I do know they were there to carry Dom out. But what a match, ladies and gentlemen. This shows why Rusev came back, why they re-signed him and brought him back. He is at the top of his game. And I cannot wait for a rematch, whether it's going to be a triple threat, a fatal four-way with somebody else involved or others involved. But this match needs to happen again and soon. On to the next match, and this one was very, very intriguing to me. This was Bayley coming back to face Raquel Rodriguez. Of course, Raquel had Roxanne Perez in her corner and at ringside for the match. Now, how much of a factor did Roxanne play? Not as much as I would have expected. And I'm okay with that. She did cause enough of a distraction at the end that Raquel was able to pick up the win. And then both women started beating down on Bayley, which led to a reluctant Lyra Valkyria coming down to make the save. She got to the top of the ramp, looked with confusion. Do I want to do it? Do I not? Was going to make her way back to the locker room and bolted to the ring to make the save, where she then proceeded to take the 2-on-1 beatdown until whatever is going on with Bayley, until Bayley snapped. And whatever is going on with Bayley, I am here for it. This is perhaps the most intriguing character she has ever had. We had the hugger. We had the hello idiot, ding dong, whatever you want to call it. we have the role model. Now we have all three of those conflicting. So we don't know what Bayley we are going to see on a Monday, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. But she snapped, took out Raquel and Lyra, and then took out Raquel and Roxanne and then picked up Lyra, celebrated with her, gave her a hug, and said something perhaps leading to a tag team match, and I don't know when that is going to happen. Something tells me that will be next Monday. But that's just a guess on my part, and I am not going to try and deliver a ton of speculation on this show, although that is what we do, and that is what you people watch us for. Very interesting confrontation in the locker room as LA Knight was talking with Adam Pearce in regards to getting a title match, whether that's with Seth or somebody else. He wants to get there. When he got interrupted by the New Day without Grayson Waller, because Grayson Waller was hurt by the Mexican Destroyer the week beforehand. This led to Kofi Kingston going one-on-one with LA Knight. And I've never been the biggest Kofi supporter. I'll be the first to admit that. But ever since his Kofi Mania run, he's always intrigued me a little bit more. And this match was fantastic. Back and forth. Again, a little bit of interference because you did have the New Day at ringside. You had Xavier Woods at ringside. But LA Knight, of course, hits the BFT, picks up the 1-2-3, and gets out of the ring. Nobody else got involved on LA Knight's behalf. Nobody came down to save him. This was all LA Knight. To kick off the second hour, we had a very, very heated and pointed clash. And not a match, but a promo battle between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes leading up to this Saturday's match at Crown Jewel. Champion versus champion, winner becomes the Crown Jewel holder. I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. This was very, very intense. Cody giving Seth his props as he always has. Even Seth gave Cody his props. But Seth calling Cody out for saying he's the quarterback, where Seth is the vision, of course, on where the business is headed. And they compared to where things are going to be in 10 years when both of them may or may not be competing. When both of them may or may not be in the back producing matches or leading the creative teams. This is adding a lot more intrigue. And what are we going to get from those two tonight? We will cover that in a little while. And then another very, very intriguing situation. The Raw Women's Division falling further and further into chaos. We saw a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, when Asuka sprayed Rhea Ripley with the mist. And Io Sky came out to back Asuka off. The same thing happened this week. And Io told Rhea, no, enough. They are still my family. This doesn't need to happen. Please leave them alone. Asuka and Kairi Sane appeared on the Tron saying, come back. We can be a family again. Only this time they snuck up from behind, and in this case, they misted Io. And they beat down Rhea. And even though Rhea looked hurt as she was getting carried out, she put more attention on making sure Io was okay. Getting her to the back to get her looked after. We saw a segment later where Rhea went to check on her, and Io said, no, enough is enough. At Crown Jewel, it's going to be you and me versus Asuka and Kairi. Now, I'm still wondering, and I'm leading to this, is it time for Rhea Ripley to turn heel again? She's had a fantastic babyface run, but is it time for her to turn heel? She has been in and around the women's heavyweight championship picture, but hasn't been able to get the job done. Is it time for her to turn heel, or is it time to give Rhea a change of scenery, move her to SmackDown? Ladies and gentlemen, please let me know your thoughts on this. Next up, we had AJ Styles and Dragon Lee in tag team action against the team of Rayo and Bravo, also known as Los Americanos. This is a new team under the mentorship of El Grande Americano. Now, we know that they are also a faction known as Los Americanos. And this is very, very intriguing. These two put on an absolute tag team clinic. They kept the ring cut in half. They kept one of them in their corner at all times. Quick tags in and out. Of course, you have the hot tag situation. This was a fantastic match all around, with Rayo and Bravo doing what they did. A very, very compelling debut, and I am really, really interested to see where it goes from here. But I want to talk about a team that has been missing. And I am talking about the Creed brothers. Where are they? A while ago, they were in the heart of the tag team championship picture, starting to build up and get an opportunity. Chad Gable went down with an injury, and all of a sudden, American Made is dropped from any and all creative plans. Guys, you have a tag team here that you can do something with. Find something for them, WWE. Find something for them, Adam Pearce. Get them back on TV. Get them into a match. Lastly, our main event of the evening. The Usos once again reunited. Jimmy and Jay taking on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed of the Vision in a tornado tag team match. Now, this match was huge. This match had everything. Nobody got disqualified. The ref was very, very lenient. Good evening, Mr. Best. Mr. Best coming in saying the Creed brothers have been on Main Event lately. That is disappointing because they are a phenomenal team, and I think they should be back on Raw on a regular basis competing. And I think there would be an absolute place for them to challenge for the tag team championships. But yes, a tornado tag match, and this match was brutal. The ref let everything go. Jimmy got buried through the announce table at one point, leaving Jay to fight it all on his own. Jay did an admirable job and fighting back. Jimmy comes in, finally makes the save. They still proceed to get beaten down. And as Bronson Reed goes up for the tsunami, what do we hear but the Samoan war drums? And out came our tribal chief. Roman Reigns returned just weeks after being injured and taken out at Clash in Paris. Now, this, of course, did lead to the Usos picking up the victory. And this is huge. And ladies and gentlemen, we already know tonight Roman Reigns will be here on Raw. It'll be interesting to find out what he has to say, but we will cover that again here very, very shortly. We were wondering who was going to come out, but it was Roman Reigns, of course, who's just back from filming Street Fighter alongside Cody Rhodes. So this is going to make for a very, very interesting show. And of course, now you've got Crown Jewel this Saturday. And then next up, we do have Saturday night's main event. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But you're going to Survivor Series. So now you're looking at Roman Reigns returns. You've got the Usos reunited. You've got Cody. That's 4. You've got the Vision for Seth Rollins. The Vision needs 2 more people. The Bloodline, I guess, with Cody needs 1 more person. And is that your War Games match on the men's side, ladies and gentlemen? Is that where we go from here? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is about time to get into the preview. But before we do, I'm going to play some ads for you. And let's start, ladies and gentlemen. We need your help.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at carlcarafell.redbubble.com. Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday we go TNA when we brace for Impact at 7:55 p.m. Eastern. Friday we secure all details as we answer the call for the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. Eastern. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you have ever wanted to get your break in podcasting, content creation, potential collaboration, or just help us out behind the scenes, such as our good friend here at the show, the Bulkster, does, turnbucklestudios.org is the place to be. Watch our latest weekly episodic shows, including this one. Meet the team, myself, Chris Best, Chris Parrish, Bubba Duke, and of course the Godfather, Carl Carafell. Go to turnbucklestudios.org/join to send us your creds, and we can all sit down as a collective and figure out how best to work you in. And of course, there is the link to our merch shop, carlcarafel.redbubble.com. I do want to shout out, as I already have, our friend the Bulkster, who does all of the legwork for us to get us the reviews and the previews for tonight. You can find him on YouTube and on TikTok, both at Bulkster Show. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, turnbucklestudios.org is the place to be. And on to tonight, this is going to be a huge, huge go-home show leading up to Crown Jewel this Saturday morning. Now, there will not be a PLE patrol at 8 o'clock Saturday morning. I'll be up and getting ready for work. Stay tuned to the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program and Turnbuckle Studios socials for more information as to whether there will be a PLE patrol that evening. On to tonight. Roman Reigns will open the show after making his return last week. Does this mean he's going to get a match at Crown Jewel, or is he building for something bigger down the road? It is very, very intriguing. We know that he was taken out by Bronson Reed. Does he put his focus now on Braun Breaker? Is he coming out flanked by the Usos? Is this a bloodline reunion, so to speak? I am intrigued, and we are going to have to wait and see at 8 o'clock when the superstars of Raw make their way to the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, live on Netflix at 8 p.m. Eastern. Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree will go one-on-one tonight. I have heard both that this is an Intercontinental title match, and I am being told here it is not a non-title match. But this is interesting, and this is a huge, huge match for Maxine Dupree, who has come such a long, long way. I haven't seen a superstar improve as much as Maxine has since Liv Morgan. Now, does this mean Maxine is going to get the win, or is this just a chance for her to really step up and show what she can do? Is Becky Lynch her litmus test? And I would have to say yes. I, for one, think that the Intercontinental title in this match should be on the line. Because what has actually happened with these women's secondary championships? I said back when they first introduced the Women's Intercontinental Championship that the Women's U.S. title was up here. Here was the Intercontinental Championship. It got surpassed. And now Becky Lynch has sort of carried it around as a trophy. And it's now there. It's been the same thing with the U.S. Championship. I think this title needs to go on the line and get some shine put back onto it. Not just be there as an accessory for Becky Lynch and her resume. Okay, I have been told from Mr. Best the title is on the line tonight. Thank you. Thank you. This needs to happen. Up next, a rematch from a couple of weeks ago, and this was a match that I thought should have stolen the show 2 weeks ago. It did to a point, but it didn't meet my overall expectations. There was a couple of matches that then did supersede it. Tonight, ladies, please blow the roof off of the American Airlines Arena, and I am talking to Lyra Valkyria and Roxanne Perez, who go one-on-one tonight. Now, are we going to get Bayley in Lyra's corner? I don't know. Is she going to make an appearance? More than likely. We know that Raquel is going to be in Roxanne's corner because we don't see anybody get banned from ringside anymore, so to speak. And I really, like I said, I hope this match just blows the roof off. These two women are the absolute future of the WWE Women's Division, and you give it 2, 3, 4 years, these two women are going to be long surpassed Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. That is my word. That is my prediction. And I hope that it's not a prediction. I'm hoping, in the immortal words of Paul Heyman, that is a spoiler. Women's division. Everything is in flux. We know that we are going to see Stephanie Vicaire versus Tiffany Stratton this coming Saturday at Crown Jewel. And we know what happened at the contract signing on SmackDown. Stephanie Vicaire was confronted by Julia and Kiana James. And Kiana saying, look, Steph, we know you're the champion, but I can make you a bigger star than you already are. Just like I'm doing for Julia. Now, we know that Julia and Stephanie do have history going back to their time together in NXT. Do we see an appearance from Julia as it relates to Stephanie Vicaire? Do we get Stephanie Vicaire and Tiffany Stratton in a face-off one-on-one again tonight? I don't know. I am intrigued to see how this plays out. We also know that the Kabuki Warriors, who are going to face Rhea and Io this Saturday at Crown Jewel Perth, are going to be there. I'm sure Rhea and Io are going to be there. But what about Charlotte and Alexa? We haven't seen them on Raw since the night after they won the Women's Tag Team Championships. And it's time to get those Women's Tag Team Championships visible on all brands again. We know that they recently did NXT, where they did defend the Tag Team Championships. Props to them. But the titles haven't been seen on Raw for the one title that is supposed to go across all brands. Where do we go from here? Do we make Rhea and Io or the Kabuki Warriors #1 contenders for those Women's Tag Team Championships? We saw Sol Ruca and Zarya on SmackDown step up and say they want a shot. We've seen the Secret Service step up and say they want a shot. The only two true women's teams we have now on Raw are the Kabuki Warriors and now this newly formed Rhea-Io alliance. So I am intrigued, ladies and gentlemen. Where do we go from here? As well, CM Punk returns to Raw tonight. So on top of Roman Reigns coming back and opening the show, we get CM Punk. Is he going to get into Seth Rollins' face? Is he going to get involved in something Roman has to say? Very, very intrigued to find out what he has on his mind. Does this have to do with he and AJ wanting title shots because they won their mixed tag match at Clash in Paris? I am, again, very, very intrigued. Do we see CM Punk maybe target a Rusev, or do we see a Rusev target a CM Punk to get himself back after losing to Dom? All very, very intriguing developments here. We don't even know what's going to happen with the Intercontinental Championship. We don't know what's going to happen with Dom holding the AAA Mega Championship right now, as we know he is going to face Dragon Lee at the next AAA event for that title. There is a lot going on here with all of those things. I am intrigued, ladies and gentlemen. This show is going to be, I hope, off the charts here as a go-home show leading to Clash Crown Jewel, Perth, this coming Saturday. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if there will be a PLE Patrol Saturday evening. Stay tuned to our socials to find out. But from myself here at the Locker Room Breakdown, from Bubba Duke, if you are looking to find us here on the socials, you already saw Bubba's. If you're looking for me, you can find me at my Linktree, linktr.ee/OMD show. Again, ladies and gentlemen, as well, turnbucklestudios.org is the place to be if you want to see our latest weekly episodic shows, meet us, join us, shop with us. Turnbucklestudios.org. Ladies and gentlemen, for myself, for Bubba Duke, who is on assignment, again, a huge thank you to Chris Best and Carl Carafel last weekend. Stay tuned because you can see me coming up here in about half an hour on Turnbuckle Studios with the Raw Patrol with Chris Best. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember the world is better with you in it. From all of us here at the Locker Room Breakdown to those of you out there wherever you are, good night, good luck, we out.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, videos, games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now. And we want you to tap in.